Okay, so in this video we are going to do goniometry and manual muscle testing for cervical extension. So this cervical extension happens in the sagittal plane, the end feel is firm, the normal value is 0 to 60 degrees. The patient position is the same as for flexion, which is sitting in a wooden chair, back supported, feet supported. If the feet did not reach the floor, you would put a couple of foam squares under there to make sure that her feet are supported. So the cues are, all right, I'm gonna have you look up toward the ceiling, bring your eyes up toward the ceiling as far as you can go. And then after she moves, that's when I line up my goniometer. So the fulcrum is going directly over the external occipital protuberance. The stationary arm is perpendicular to the floor and it goes up, otherwise it's gonna hit her body and get in the way. Her nose started out here, that's the 0, and it goes up. I bring this up so that it is in line with the base of her nares. Good, take a little break. And so I'm reading it. This is a very loose goniometer. I read the red numbers because I started at 0 and she's at 65, or you could do the black numbers and you could do a little math. If she lacked cervical extension and she only had a little and she was going to compensate, so bring your head up just a little bit, she might arch the rest of her trunk instead. And so then I would just say, okay, you're arching the rest of your trunk. I want you to keep your trunk still. A tactile cue would be posterior to prevent that compensation. What else do I want to mention about extension? You can rest your hand on the person's shoulder here so that you're nice and stable. Make sure that your goniometer starts here at 0, so this is extension, and this is flexion going down. You're reading typically from the red numbers if you don't want to do any math. And also, for both flexion and extension, you don't want to line everything up before she moves because everything moves and then you have to realign everything. So go ahead and bring your chin to your chest for flexion. And I have to realign anything anyways, so I wasted my time. Same thing with extension. Don't line it up in advance because go ahead and bring your eyes up to the ceiling. That's not where anything lands. So make sure you have them move first and then line up your goniometer. Okay, I'm gonna have you move over to the treatment table and I'm gonna have you lie on your stomach with your head hanging off of the table. And your arms by your side. All right, so this is the against gravity position for cervical extension MMT. So I'm gonna have, her hands are by her side, I'm gonna have you, let's see, do you need to come off the edge of the table like maybe 2 more inches? Okay, good, because what I wanna see is that when she flexes her, are your glasses gonna stay on or fall off?
They just stay on.
Okay, good. So start all the way down here in flexion. Okay, good. So I'm gonna have you bring your eyes and your head up to the ceiling as high as you can go. Good. She came up in an arc, so when I push, I'm not pushing forward, I'm not pushing straight down. My hand is on the parieto-occipital area, and I'm pushing in that same arc of motion. My resistance hand is here, my stabilization hand is right in front of the forehead, but not touching. In case she gives, I can catch her. Stay strong. I'm gonna try to push your head back down. Don't let me do it. Stay strong. And there's 4 and 5. If she had come up, come back down to the starting position if you would. If she came up through partial range, but not full range, we would give her a 2. And then for a 1 and a 0, I would have her scooch back so she's fully supported on the table with her arms by her sides. And now I'm palpating to differentiate between a 1 and a 0. So I'm gonna palpate at the base of the skull and right along like the paraspinal muscles, and I would give her the same cues. Can you bring your head up off the table? And if I can see or feel anything, I would give her a 1 out of 5. And if nothing's happening, then her grade is a 0.